Have you ever looked in the mirror, wearing something you thought was beautiful, and still felt like something was missing? Like you were trying, but somehow the elegance, the quiet confidence you've admired in others just didn't show up? You're not alone. A lot of women over 50 feel that way. We've spent decades dressing for jobs, for family, for trends. But now, at this stage of life, it's time to dress for ourselves. And the truth is, real elegance, the kind that turns heads without saying a word, doesn't come from money or brands or chasing what's trendy. It comes from something deeper. In this video, I'm going to share with you 7 timeless style principles that women with true presence never ignore. These are not fashion hacks. They're lessons in how to look like you've lived, and lived well. And the third one? That one changed everything for me. Because looking expensive isn't about being rich. It's about choosing with intention. It's about knowing that you don't need to shout to be seen. Let's begin. 1. Quality over quantity. The art of refinement after 50. Let me tell you something that completely shifted how I see my closet. And honestly, how I see myself. For most of my life, I believed that more options meant better style. So I filled my wardrobe with sales finds, trendy pieces, impulse buys. My closet was full. But every morning I stood in front of it and thought, I have nothing to wear. Sound familiar? It wasn't until I hit my 50s that I realized the truth. Style doesn't live in the amount you own. It lives in the choices you make. And at this stage of life, we've earned the right to be intentional. When you're younger, it's easy to chase novelty. You buy things because they're new, fun, or on trend. But after 50, we're in a different chapter. We've already proven ourselves in so many ways. We've raised families, built careers, made it through heartbreak and reinvention. Our clothes should reflect that strength, that clarity, that wisdom. And wisdom is simple. Today, my wardrobe is about 1/3 the size it used to be. But every piece in it, I love it. I wear it. It fits beautifully. It tells a story. And I can walk out the door in 5 minutes feeling confident, not because I have a lot, but because I have enough of the right things. There's something incredibly powerful about choosing quality over quantity. It says, I know what works for me. I don't need more. I need better. And that mindset spills into every part of life. We stop collecting things just to fill space, whether it's clothes, relationships, or responsibilities. We begin to edit, curate, refine, not out of lack, but out of self-respect. If you're just starting this shift, here are a few things I've learned. First, do a closet inventory, not just of what you own, but of what you actually wear and feel good in. Be brutally honest. If it itches, rides up, tugs, pulls, or makes you feel meh, it's not serving you. Second, when shopping, ask yourself, will I still love this in 5 years? If the answer is no, leave it. Timeless always wins. And finally, adopt what I call the one in, one out rule. For every new item you bring in, let go of one. It keeps your wardrobe lean and intentional, and it forces you to ask, do I love this more than what I already have? This isn't just about fashion. This is about honoring who you are now, not who you were, not who the world expects you to be, but the woman you've become. Because after 50, elegance isn't about impressing anyone else. It's about walking through life in a way that says, I know myself, I trust myself, and everything I put on reflects that. And that, my friend, is the most luxurious thing you can wear. 2. Sunglasses. The silent statement of presence. There's something magical about the right pair of sunglasses. And I'm not talking about hiding from the sun. I'm talking about presence, mystery, control. Let me share a little story. A few years ago, I had one of those mornings. You know, the kind, Barely slept, didn't have time for makeup, hair doing whatever it wanted. I threw on a simple outfit and was about to cancel my plans because, honestly, I felt off. Not polished. Not ready. But then I put on my sunglasses. Just a classic, well-made pair with no loud logos, no fancy embellishments, just elegant design and beautiful structure. And something shifted. I caught my reflection in the car window and smiled. I looked like a woman who had it together, even if I didn't feel that way just 10 minutes earlier. That's the power of a great pair of sunglasses. They don't just protect your eyes, they protect your image. They create a barrier, a buffer, a little bit of mystery that says, I'm not here to explain myself. I'm here to be seen on my own terms, and after 50, that's a feeling worth investing in. Now here's what most women get wrong. They chase trendy frames, oversized, brightly colored, bedazzled, or worse, dripping in designer branding. But the truth is, those pieces age you faster than anything. They scream for attention instead of earning it. Old money style, the kind of elegance that whispers rather than shouts, calls for restraint. Timeless frames, subtle finishes, rich textures. So, what should you look for? Choose styles that have lasted through decades. Aviators, soft cat eyes, wayfarers, neutral colors like tortoiseshell, matte black, soft gold or dark brown work with everything. And quality materials matter. Real acetate or metal, not plastic that'll crack in a season. But here's the most important thing. Find a shape that flatters your unique face. Your sunglasses should feel like a natural extension of your style, not a costume. And don't think you need a whole drawer of them. In fact, owning just 1 or 2 impeccable pairs is far more powerful than cycling through cheap, disposable ones. They become part of your signature, like red lipstick for some women, or pearls for others. If you've never owned a truly well-made pair of sunglasses, now's the time. Not because it makes you look younger, but because it makes you look certain. Certain of your taste, your style, your presence. Because when you walk into a room with that quiet confidence and your favorite sunglasses in hand, you won't need to say a word. The energy will speak for itself. And that, my dear, is how elegance walks before you even say hello. 3. Impeccable tailoring, dressing for the woman you are now. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you wore something that truly fit you? Not just in size, but in soul. So many women over 50 fall into this quiet trap. We stop expecting our clothes to celebrate our bodies. We settle for good enough. Or we keep reaching for the sizes we wore a decade ago, as if the numbers on a tag could define us. But here's the truth no one tells you. Your body isn't a problem to fix. It's a story to honor. And nothing honors it better than tailoring. I used to think tailoring was for celebrities, or for people who had the time and money to fuss over details. I thought if I found the right brand, the perfect fit would magically happen off the rack. It never did. Then, one day, on a whim, I took a blazer I loved, but never wore to a local tailor. He made just a few adjustments, took in the waist, shortened the sleeves. And suddenly, it became mine. It fit not just my shape, but my posture, my lifestyle, the way I move through the world. And the compliments started coming. Not nice jacket, but you look incredible. That's the difference tailoring makes, because clothes that are tailored to your now, not your past, not the mannequin in the store, tell the world, I respect myself enough to wear what fits who I am today. Here's what I've learned. Tailoring isn't about perfection. It's about intention. You don't need to alter every piece you own. Start with the staples. Your best trousers, a structured blazer, maybe a sheath dress. Invest in those being perfect for you. Not tight, not trendy, just right. And don't be afraid to size up if needed. In fact, buying a size larger and tailoring it down often results in the most flattering fit. Because good tailoring isn't about squeezing, it's about sculpting. It respects the natural architecture of your body. One more thing. Find a tailor you trust. It might take a try or two, but when you do, it'll change everything. You'll start seeing potential in pieces you used to ignore. You'll shop differently, more thoughtfully, more confidently. And most of all, you'll start showing up differently. Because when your clothes fit not just your body but your identity, they do more than cover you. They express you. And at this point in life, that's the only kind of style worth having. The power of neutral colors, speaking elegance without saying a word. Let's talk about color. Not the loud kind, but the kind that whispers. There's this common belief, especially as we get older, that we need bright colors to look alive. That neutrals are too plain, too boring, too invisible. But here's what I've found. It's not the color that makes you disappear. It's the wrong energy behind it. Neutral tones, like cream, beige, soft gray, navy, camel, and ivory, have a quiet sophistication that does something powerful. They let you shine. When you walk into a room in a soft taupe blazer or a perfectly cut black dress, the attention doesn't go to the clothes. It goes to your presence, your posture, your voice, your face. That's old money style at its core, letting who you are speak louder than what you wear. Years ago, I had a phase where I thought adding color would make me look fun again. I wore prints, bright jewel tones, loud scarves. But somehow I felt like I was wearing someone else's energy. It wasn't until I came back to a soft, earthy palette that I felt truly grounded, like I was finally dressing in harmony with myself. And let's be honest, neutrals are timeless. They don't expire with the seasons. They don't scream for attention. They blend, layer, adapt. They simplify your wardrobe too. Everything works with everything else, and suddenly getting dressed becomes effortless. Here's a simple way to apply this. Start by identifying the 3 core neutrals that best suit your skin tone. If you have warm undertones, look at camel, cream, olive, or warm taupe. If you're cooler toned, try slate gray, crisp white, navy, or soft black. Then build your wardrobe around those tones. Think of them as your canvas. And if you love color, you can still use it, just as an accent. A silk scarf in rust, a structured bag in wine red, a subtle blush shoe. When the base is neutral, the pop becomes art. Because elegance isn't about being dull, it's about knowing when to step forward and when to step back, so your essence, not your outfit, makes the impact. In a world of visual noise, a woman in calm, intentional tones becomes unforgettable. She doesn't compete. She commands. 5. Timeless pieces. Building a wardrobe that lasts through the years. Trends come and go. One season it's oversized sleeves, the next it's cutouts or neon or some micro-trend that vanishes as fast as it showed up. But there's something deeply grounding, almost calming, about knowing that certain pieces will never go out of style. They've stood the test of time not because they're flashy, but because they work. Always. These are what I call your forever pieces. And if you're over 50, these are the best investments you can make for both your wardrobe and your peace of mind. Let me give you an example. A close friend of mine bought a camel-colored cashmere coat nearly 20 years ago. It wasn't cheap, and she hesitated at the time. But she wore it again last winter, and guess what? She still gets compliments, sometimes from people half her age. It looks just as beautiful today as it did then. Why? Because real style doesn't expire. These are the kinds of pieces that elevate you without effort. A crisp white cotton shirt with a structured collar. A simple black dress that skims your silhouette, not too tight, not too loose. A pair of high-quality wool trousers. A tailored trench coat. Leather loafers or classic pumps in nude or black. A cashmere sweater that feels like a second skin. Notice what they all have in common? No logos, no gimmicks, just form, function, and quiet power. Timeless pieces do more than make you look elegant. They simplify your life. You don't waste hours trying to put an outfit together. You don't wonder if something still works this year. When your wardrobe is built on timeless foundations, you're free to focus on how you feel, not how you look. And here's the best part. When you wear timeless clothing, people don't say, "What a nice outfit." They say, "You always look so put together." That's the difference. It becomes part of you. So, how do you start? You don't need to buy everything at once. In fact, you shouldn't. Just start with one. Maybe it's a great blazer or a perfect pair of dark wash jeans that fit you like a glove. Something you'll reach for again and again. And every time you wear it, it reminds you that you deserve quality. Because let's be honest, after 50, you've outgrown throwaway fashion. You've earned timeless. Let your clothes reflect that. 6. Accessories, understated details that speak volumes. When it comes to style after 50, there's one truth I've learned. The smaller the detail, the louder it speaks, if chosen with care. Accessories are not just decoration, they're punctuation. They finish your sentence. They tell the world how much thought you put into being exactly who you are. But here's the trap so many women fall into. Thinking they need bigger, bolder, or more to distract from their age. Loud statement necklaces, oversized bangles, flashy costume jewelry. It's all a kind of overcompensation, and truthfully, it often does the opposite of what we intend. It doesn't make us look younger. It makes us look like we're trying too hard. Old money elegance teaches us this. True luxury doesn't scream. It whispers. Let me give you a moment I'll never forget. I was at a dinner party. There was a woman in her 70s, quiet, composed, glowing. She wore a simple black silk blouse, tailored slacks, and just one accessory, a delicate gold chain with a single pearl. And I could not take my eyes off her. Not because she was flashy, but because she was intentional. Every choice she made told me, I know exactly who I am. That's the power of understated accessories. Here's what to look for. Real over fake. Choose quality metals, gold, silver, platinum, and real stones or pearls, even if small. Heritage pieces, family heirlooms, or vintage jewelry carry stories, and nothing adds soul to an outfit like a memory. One or two at a time, let each piece breathe. A pair of pearl studs, a clean leather watch, a thin bracelet that moves when you do. You don't need a jewelry box overflowing with options. You need a few pieces that feel like you, that age with you, that become part of your identity. And here's the best part. Well-chosen accessories don't just enhance your outfit, they elevate your mood. Putting on your favorite ring, the one you've worn through job interviews and life milestones, it's grounding. It connects you to your story. So the next time you reach for jewelry or a handbag or even a scarf, ask yourself, does this add quiet strength to who I am? Or is it trying to make up for something I don't need to hide? You've lived too fully to cover it all up. Let your accessories frame your beauty, not distract from it. Because elegance isn't about adding more, it's about choosing less with greater purpose. 7. Simplicity. The most expensive look money can't buy. There's a certain kind of woman who walks into a room and turns heads, not because she's wearing something loud or trendy, but because she isn't. There are no bright logos, no glitter, no bold colors competing for attention. She's dressed simply, elegantly, intentionally, and yet everyone notices her. That's the power of simplicity. It's the most luxurious look you can wear, and it doesn't cost a thing. Now, don't confuse simplicity with plainness. Simplicity doesn't mean boring. It means clarity. It means knowing exactly who you are and editing everything else out. When we were younger, We tried to express ourselves through clothes, sometimes too much. We experimented. We tried to impress. But as we grow into our 50s and beyond, we realize something liberating. We don't need our style to scream. We just want it to speak truth. Let me tell you a secret I wish someone had told me earlier. The simpler you dress, the more people see you. Not just the outfit, not just the makeup. You, a well-fitted white blouse, a pair of beautifully cut black pants, neutral flats, minimal jewelry, fresh, moisturized skin. That's it. And you know what happens when you walk out like that? People lean in. They sense something centered in you, something self-assured. They feel calm around you, like you have nothing to prove. Because you don't. Simplicity also gives you freedom. You're not wasting time figuring out what matches. You're not second-guessing how you look in pictures. Your wardrobe works because it reflects a deeper truth. You've spent years becoming this woman, and you don't need decorations to validate her. If you're not sure where to begin, try this. Pick your 3 most elegant outfits, the ones where you felt the most like yourself. Then ask, what made them work? Was it the fit? The color? The lack of extra? Start there. Let that be your new standard. Because here's the beautiful thing. When your outside reflects the ease and grace you feel on the inside, you're no longer chasing elegance. You are elegance. And that never goes out of style. So there you have it. 7 timeless principles that elegant women over 50 live by. Not because they're chasing youth or fashion or anyone else's approval, but because they've come to understand something powerful. Elegance isn't about impressing the world. It's about honoring yourself. You don't need to own dozens of dresses, expensive handbags, or closets full of clutter. You need clarity. You need intention. And most of all, you need confidence in the woman you are now, not the one you were 20 years ago, and not the one society expects you to be. Because you've lived, you've learned, you've earned your space, and that is the most beautiful thing you can ever wear. If any part of today's video spoke to you, if even one idea made you think, yes, that's me now, then I invite you to keep going. Keep refining. Keep simplifying. You don't need permission to look and feel your best. You already have it. And if you enjoyed this, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Which of the 7 principles resonated most with you? Which one will you start with this week? And be sure to subscribe, because next week I'm going to show you how to build a complete old money-inspired capsule wardrobe with just 15 essential pieces. Until then, remember this: style has no age, elegance has no price, and your presence speaks long before your outfit ever does. See you soon.